Hello and namaste. It's Karuna here. It's with pleasure that I teach my last class from Baja, as I'll be on the road on Wednesday heading back north to the States. Today, we are going to talk about, oh, you can't see it, the light's not very good. This is Juniper Berry oil. It comes in a 5 milliliter bottle. And it also comes from, obviously, the juniper tree. So I'm going to just share a little bit about this. If you have juniper, please take that out. And I invite you to open up your bottle of juniper berry. And just inhale that right from the bottle. And for me, this is so nostalgic because living in Oregon over 20 years, surrounded by juniper trees. So it's really a grounding feeling for me. And just take me back to the forest. So we're going to put a drop of the oil or two in our hands and rub our hands together and sit up nice and tall. And just smell that for a moment. Taking some long, slow, deep breaths. And just noticing what that brings up for you. And then we're just going to massage the soles of our feet with this juniper berry. Juniper berry is a powerful detoxifier. So when we put this oil on the soles of our feet, it's moving directly into the bloodstream and into all the cells in our body. Okay. I'm just going to give myself a little neck and shoulder massage before we begin. I invite you to do the same and work out any kinks in the neck from sleep. Right. As you come to your center, ground down, setting your roots into the earth, just like that of a juniper tree. Thinking about how stable and expansive you can be at the same time. And that topic has been coming up for me living in an RV, living RV life and moving from place to place. The need for roots, for stability. And so we return to our yoga practice day after day after day to establish that sense of routine, that sense of home, that rooting down, like the trees behind me. I wanted to share with you as we begin the affirmations of Juniper Berry. And as we set our roots energetically into the sacred earth, no matter where you are, let all distractions begin to fade away. So you come into the deeper awareness of the presence of yourself. You can either repeat aloud or silently to yourself these words. I fully appreciate my transformation. I fully appreciate my transformation. I fully appreciate my transformation. My emotions are balanced and I enjoy this state of being. My emotions are balanced and I enjoy this state of being. My emotions are balanced and I enjoy this state of being. Events from my past positively affect my present and my future. Events from my past positively affect my present and my future. Events from the past positively affect my present and my future. I embrace change. I embrace change. I embrace change. I recognize that change can usher in improved life situations. I recognize that change can usher in improved life situations. I recognize that change can improve life situations. I am grateful for the balanced flow of energy within me. I am grateful for the positive flow of energy within me. I am grateful for the positive flow of energy within me. Breathing that in, letting that really seep into the roots of your soul. How beautiful is it that your past events, whether they be traumatic or happy, positively affect your present and future. That's a powerful statement, I think. For me, anyway. All right, I hope you can hear me and that the background traffic isn't too much noise. This right here, this blue, that is the ocean. That's the Pacific Ocean behind me. And the rest of the blue, obviously, is the sky. So even though there's traffic constantly moving around us, there's that chaos, there's that constant pull of energy, constantly trying to distract us, right? And it takes practice to become steady and steady, like a juniper tree, as steady as that ocean looks right now. So let us work in our yoga practice to breathe into that steadiness. Just like the ancient yogis who practiced yoga outside and were mimicking the forms and the figures and the animals and the flora of the environment, they were observing how everything is connected. And when we move into that deep space of stillness, it's so much more easy to feel that connection, that sense of stability, strength, and grounding. So as we set our roots into the earth, come into the rhythm of Ujjayi breath, which is balancing the length of the inhalation to the length of the exhalation so that they are equal in time. And we're creating a similar sound of the ocean as the tides of the breath move in and out of the body. Creating a soft whispering sound. Bring the mind into that deep meditative state where we attune to the sound and the movement of the breath within us, our life force, that prana. And we'll coordinate our movements with our breath as we inhale and extend the arms up overhead, relaxing the shoulders, keeping them in a neutral space, intertwining the fingers and extending those arms up. Exhale to the right, keeping that left sit bone grounded. Inhaling on up and exhaling second side. Moving with your breath. And exhale, relax those arms down. Inhale, extend them on up again. Palms unite, or you can just make a big V. Exhale, twist to the right. Bring the left hand to the outside of your knee or thigh. Right hand behind you. Just begin to twist from the low belly all the way on up the trunk of the spine. And deep breathe into your grounding, stability. Inhaling as we sweep the arms up, moving through center. Exhaling second side. Inhaling on up. Exhale, bring the hands behind you. Feet to the earth. And we're going to turn the hands away from us. We're going to inhale and sweep the right arm over, lift the hips, arch the spine, reach back, and exhale, unwind. Second side. Inhale, left arm moves across the horizon line, and we reach. Exhale, come down. Moving with your breath. If that feels too difficult for you, turn the palms toward the feet, lengthen the arms and roll the shoulders back, and inhale, lift it. Flex the head back. Exhaling down. Either way, okay. One more time. Come to the center. And take a breath in, lengthen your spine nice and tall. Exhale, round your back. And then we're going to inhale, come on through. All the way forward. Exhaling. You roll back. Moving with your breath. Okay. We're going to inhale, lengthen the spine like the trunk of a tree, drawing the legs together. Hands underneath the knees. Lift and roll the shoulders back and just begin to find your balance. If that feels too much, maybe wrap your arms around the legs and try to lengthen the spine, maybe tapping the toes on the floor or keeping the feet on the ground. And over time, we create that sense of strength and balance. Thinking of this as an up and down pose, like a tree extending toward the sun. Deep breaths. Relaxing the body within the intensity it takes to find that balance and strength. But once you find that balance, less strength is needed. Like a redistribution of our weight. And then we're going to exhale. Turn the feet out. We're going to come into a yogi squat. If you need to sit on a block, grab a block and bring that right underneath the sit bones. If you can bring the elbows to the inner knees, do so. And bring the hands in prayer. If this feels too much for you, you can also sit in a chair. So with the sit bones on a chair, you can extend your spine forward through the legs and reach forward. And you'll still get deep into those hips there. Deep breathe. Wherever you're at, no judgment, just strong and steady. Fingertips reach the earth or hands to the inner legs or ankles. And we're going to inhale and slowly come to a forward bend. So if you're sitting on a chair, maybe lifting the sit bones up off the ground or off your seat. And we're going to extend the feet forward, parallel to one another. and bow in. Even if you have to bend the knees, we're just going to soften. Feeling your way in and extending one leg, breathing into the opening of that whole side, and then switching the bend in the knee and extending through the leg of the opposite side, finding your length, and just alternating that. Or you can remain static and still. And then we're going to come to the center and we'll spinal roll up one vertebra at a time. Making our way to standing. Rooting down, finding our balance, feet parallel to one another. Ankles are slightly widened to widen the back body, opening the sit bones, creating some space and stability here in tree or in mountain pose. Tadasana. And from here, we're going to find our balance and move into tree pose. We're going to balance on the right leg first as we bend the left knee, turn the knee out to the left, and then either cradle the arch of the foot against that right ankle or walk the foot up the leg, either below or above the knee. Find your length, open that hip, the knee, pressing the foot and the inner thigh or the inner leg together. And then inhale as you reach those arms up, relaxing the shoulders. Deep breathe. Finding your stability and moving like a tree blowing in the wind, feeling all those micro movements as the body strives for balance. Deep, relaxed breaths. Vrikshasana, tree pose. And as we exhale, slowly releasing, catching the knee into the clasped fingers if you can. And exhale, release. We're going to shake it up. Releasing any rigidity in the body. And just shaking it out. Okay. And finding our mountain pose again. Coming back into balance. Breathing into that stability of the left leg, and we'll move into the second side. So moving into that level of the pose that you took on the first side, so you're not keeping the body in balance. So if you weren't able to move into the depth of the pose and the foot was perhaps here on the left side, or here on the opposite side, same place, okay? Sometimes less is more in yoga. We're going to move into our balance, find our strength, moving everything in toward the midline, hugging in, and then breathing into the rooting down and then the expansion. Deep ujjayi. Gaze is steady to help steady your balance, steadying the mind. And as you exhale, slowly release. See if you can catch that knee and hand open through the shoulders. And then exhale, release. And again, we're going to walk. This time we walk the feet up, lifting the heels alternately. Stretching out the plantar fascia of each foot. Good. And then again, finding your center. And we're going to step the feet wide. Equal distance and parallel. And then we're going to take a wide forward bend, hinging forward from the hips. Fingertips touch the block, or you can reach your arms on a chair. And we're going to extend the spine long, taking any sway out of the low back. And then bowing in on an exhale. So if you need to soften the knees, bend your knees deep, maybe alternate the bend in the knees and just keep it fluid. Or find that extension as you engage the quadriceps at the front of the thighs. And extending the spine now, just like the trunk of a tree, but reversing that action. Deep breathe. And we'll inhale, walk those hands forward underneath the shoulders or back to a chair, and extend the spine. Again, taking any sway out of the back, maybe moving it from one side to another, finding a little curve in the spine, some length, releasing any tension, breathing through any kinks, and then finding our center and extending through the long bones of the body. Imagining that the spine, we're one fused bone as we bring the hands to the waist, lengthen through the neck, front and back, side to side, elbows extending toward each other. So the shoulders remain open, and we're going to root the tailbone down as we inhale and come up. Turn the right foot to the right, parallel to the long side of the mat. Keep the hips open toward the side. We're going to inhale, extending the arms out for triangle pose, Uttita Trikonasana. We're going to extend, reach over the side. Either bring the hand to a chair or a block. And breathing deep into the extension. Again, radiating from the core through the long bones. As if you're leaning against a wall, finding that expansiveness like branches of a tree. If it bothers your neck to look up toward the hands, then look toward that right foot and make sure everything is extending over the right leg. If you're leaning forward a little bit and the butt sticks out, we're going to extend back a little bit, or maybe take some intensity off the pose and back off a little bit. You can always do that. We're going to inhale, come on up. Hands to the waist. Keep those hip bones facing the long side of the mat as we turn the feet. Inhale. exhale, extend the second side. So if you're modifying, move into that modification on the second side. Find where you can balance the scale. So and we're going to use the inhale to come on up as we root down through the feet. Exhale, hands to the waist. I'm going to walk the feet in, heel toe, and then come to a squatting position. See if you can get in a little tiny ball. And then bring the sit bones to the ground. I'm going to extend the legs, making a wide V. Lengthen the spine, sit up nice and tall here. We're going to exhale forward, walking the hands forward. Maybe extending through the arms as you retract the shoulders back. Maybe bring the forearms to the ground. And just relaxing in. Extending through the inseams of the legs out to the arch, around the sole of the foot, as if the outer edge of the foot could energetically reach back all the way up to the hips so it forms this circular motion. And we continue to deep breathe. If you have the mobility to go further, imagine that you're back bending into the pose. So we lengthen the spine and we keep extending. So if anything is going to touch the earth, it would be the belly, the chest, and then the chin. And if that's not happening, you can make props with your fist or use pillows or blocks or bolsters and just breathe in. And when the body has time to breathe into that pose and relax, the muscles begin to release. So it doesn't have to be your deepest pose. Some days we feel more flexible than others. And we just breathe into the acceptance of where we are at right in the present moment. Inhale and rise on up. Finding our center as you root the tailbone and the pubic bone down into the ground evenly, just like the two sit bones, as if they were four legs to a stool. We extend, and then we're going to twist to the right, bring the left hand to the outer right thigh. Deep breath in. I'm going to exhale, extend over the leg, and deep breathe here. Navigating the spine as you twist from the low belly, inhaling length, and exhale as you bow in. Inhaling length, maybe moving a little bit more deep into the pose without force. Again, just finding that sacred balance of effort and ease. And we're going to inhale on up. And exhale, second. Inhale, finding our way. And exhale, extend the length of the spine out over that leg. Inhaling on up. And we're going to grab a hold behind the knees, lean back, and draw the feet together. Moving the feet forward to make a wide diamond. Take a deep breath in here. Begin to hinge forward from the hips. We're going to exhale forward any amount, bowing in. And we'll inhale and come all the way on up. Drawing the knees together. And we're going to extend the feet forward across our mat. Fingertips behind as we sit up nice and tall. Deep breathing. And we're going to lean back onto the hands. Keep the chest nice and open. And again, bend the knees, feet to the floor. Create that tabletop. Inhale. Deep breathe here. See if you can lift the tailbone up a little bit more strongly. So you root down through the four corners of each foot. And exhale and release. Extending the legs forward again. Sitting up nice and tall. Deep breath in. And we're going to exhale, forward bend. Extending the spine out over the legs. And inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach that belly up and over the thighs. Extending. Maybe walking the sit bones back. Gently massaging the hamstrings as you engage the front of the thighs so that the back of the thighs aren't doing all the work. And we're just extending forward any amount. Deep breathe. Rooting the thigh bones down. And we're going to inhale, come on up. Exhale, release. Coming back to staff pose, Dandasana. I'm going to point the toes. Exhale, spinal roll down, one vertebra at a time. Reaching those arms overhead, get nice and long. And track the shoulders down the back. Just take a nice easy stretch through the body, nice and long. And then we're going to flex the feet. Inhale, draw the right knee in. Gently massaging the internal organs with the pressure of the thigh toward the belly. Trying to keep the neck nice and long, chin moving toward the chest ever so slightly, but keep the front of the throat opened and avoid compressing there. And then we're going to extend the right arm out by the side, palm down, left hand guides that knee over to the left. Roll onto the outer edge of that left leg. And see if you can shift your hips back toward the center of the mat. And deep breathe as we twist the spine here. And as you exhale, slowly unwind, bring that the right foot down to the ground as we bring the hips back to the center. And just let the knee drop out to the right, opening the hips, keeping this left hip bone grounded. And deep breathe. We're going to inhale, bring the knee back in, and exhale, release. Second side. Inhale, drawing the knee in. And we're going to relax that knee out to the left. I know we did the opposite first on the opposite side, but just to play around and feel the difference, just opening the hip on this side and then inhaling back to the center and moving into a twist. Shifting the hips back toward the center of the mat just a little bit. Deep breathe. And we're going to exhale, come back to the center. Left foot to the floor to shift our hips back to the center. And then we're going to drop both knees in. Extending the low back to the floor and just begin to rock back and forth from one side to another. And maybe let the knees separate nice and wide. And just play as you rotate over the sacral iliac joint, the place where the hip meets the sacrum. And just massage that area, maybe rolling toward the tailbone. Maybe drawing the knees in. And just giving that whole sacral area a little massage. And then coming to the center. Either grabbing a hold behind the knees, the ankles, outer edges of the feet, and widening those knees. If you could move the thighs on either side of the torso. And breathe into the opening of the hips, the length of the trunk of the spine. Relaxing the shoulders and the neck, and the head, maybe rolling the head from one side to another. And then again, finding our center. Releasing. I'm just gonna grab a blanket. It's nice to get nice and cozy, warm. As you relax into the final pose of Shavasana, just breathe in and exhale as you ground down, releasing any tension from the body, releasing the control of the breath, and abiding in stillness and silence for the last few moments of class. And slowly enlivening the body, breathing into its movements, and slowly making your way on over to one side and cuddling on up into yourself into a fetal position. And we'll slowly make our way on up to joining the hands together at the heart in Anjali Mudra, and bowing the head toward the rising heart, breathing into your majestic self. As if you're as old and ancient and wise and stable as an old juniper tree. Observing all the change that occurs with that steadiness, that strength, that stability. And with that, we can expand and move forward. Namaste, friends. Wishing you all a beautiful day.